Welcome to Mindful Objective, the podcast where we explore the root causes of health concerns and uncover holistic tools to restore balance. I'm your host, Dr. Daniel Sproul, Integrative Health Practitioner and Professor. And today on episode 17, we're talking about how to start your health journey the right way with strategy, support, and simplicity. So this isn't about jumping into extreme cleanses, restrictive meal plans, or latest trends. We're focused on covering the real foundational steps that create lasting change. Like I always talk about, food tracking, another one, chiropractic care, working with an integrative health coach, and knowing which supplements actually move the needle. You also learn how high-quality protein and nutrient-dense meals create momentum, and how 20% off retail pricing on vetted supplements makes getting started easier and more affordable. So reminder, this podcast is for informational educational purposes only. We do not diagnose, cure, or treat any illness or disease. Let's get started. So initially, let's start with food, right? The power of tracking. So when people decide it's finally time to prioritize their health, one of the first questions that comes up, where do I begin? Should you overhaul your diet? Hit the gym 5 days a week? Cut out sugar? Do a detox, right? See all these, TikTok videos, do this detox, do this, do that. So, what is the right way to do it? So all those are common ideas, right? But how I think people often just feel overwhelmed when they see these different things. They get confused. Thing to note, they often backfire because they're not sustainable. So the real starting point, especially from an integrated health perspective, is awareness, right? That's why we're doing these podcasts. A lot of education's needed out there. And one of the most powerful tools we use to create awareness is food tracking. So food tracking is not about guilt or observing over every bite you eat, right? You don't want to be obsessed about that. You do want to pay attention, but you don't want to be obsessed about it. So it's about connecting the dots between what you eat and how you feel. It's about noticing trends in your energy, mood, sleep, digestion, even inflammation. And most importantly, it's about creating a data set that we can actually use to personalize your plan. So let's break it down further. When you start tracking your food, you begin to see what's really going on. And a lot of people, don't believe this, but track your food for a little bit. So it's not what you think's happening. You think you're doing one thing and then you realize you're not once you start tracking. So you might realize you're skipping breakfast and then you binge snack late at night. You may also notice you're not eating nearly enough protein as you thought, or you're overeating on carbs. Or you could find that your healthy or so-called healthy meals are actually leaving you bloated, tired, and craving sugar. So in integrative health, we always look at patterns, not perfection. Your food journal doesn't need to be rigid or judgmental. It should be a safe place where you gather clues. Again, this is for your health, right? Do what's best for you. And so one way to do that is food tracking. So the good news is you don't need an app, a calorie tracker, or complicated software to get started. A simple notebook and spreadsheet works fine. But there are apps out there we did recommend in prior podcasts, so be sure to check that podcast out. So if you're not sure what to track, start with the basics: what you ate and drank, the time you ate it, how you felt physically and emotionally before and after. Another one would be how your digestion responded. Did you get bloating, gas, constipation? How are your energy levels that day? Document that. And another one that a lot of people don't document is their sleep quality at night. Based on what you ate, did you sleep well that night or did you not? So this is the kind of journaling that helps us see how food interacts with the body in real time. So it's not about weight, it's about insight. So here's an example. One of my clients was struggling with major energy crashes around 2 p.m. every day. She was convinced it was part of her job stress. We always think that's what it is, but after just 5 days of food tracking, we noticed that she was skipping breakfast and only having coffee and a granola bar until lunch. That sounds like a few people we know. Her lunch was a giant salad with very little protein or fat. The crash wasn't random. It was a blood sugar roller coaster caused by underfueling. And again, we see this a lot. Once she added protein-rich breakfast and a few healthy fats at her lunch, the crash has stopped. No supplements or medications, just insight and a small shift. Another example here is another client was dealing with daily bloating and couldn't figure out why. Through tracking, we discovered a pattern. Every time she ate eggs for breakfast, she felt awful by mid-morning. We ran a food sensitivity panel to confirm, and sure enough, eggs showed up as a high reactive food. So without tracking, we might have never caught that. You could also use a food journal to notice emotional patterns. Are you eating when you're stressed? Skipping meals when you're overwhelmed? Turning to sugar or caffeine as a pick-me-up? These are powerful clues on how your nervous system, hormones, and blood sugar regulation are working, or not working for that matter, together, right? These need to work together in balance. So now let's talk about protein tracking specifically. So most people are not getting enough protein, especially when they're busy or eating mostly plant-based. But protein is critical for metabolism, muscle maintenance, blood sugar stability, immune function, even your brain health. So from an integrative perspective, protein helps us repair tissues, regulate hormones, and detoxify. It's not just about muscles, right? That's what people get it confused on. Oh, I don't want to be a bodybuilder, but that's why I'm not having protein. But you need protein. So as a starting point, aim for about 0.7 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. So depending on your goals and activity level, so if you weigh 150 pounds, that could be anywhere from 105 to 150 grams of protein per day. Spread it out across the day and make sure every meal includes a solid source like eggs, chicken, lentils, salmon, and clean protein powder. Also, don't forget to track your water intake. Dehydration can mimic hunger, worsen fatigue, slow detox pathways, and mess with your digestion. A general rule is half of your body weight in ounces of water per day, more if you're sweating, working out, drinking caffeine. Lastly, remember that food tracking is not forever. You might need to only do it 5 to 7 days, but we always recommend, a couple of weeks, 30 days, 60 days, see where it could take you. Depends on your needs, but some people in, 3, 5, 7 days, they're able to identify their triggers and they're able to adjust and go from there and work to heal their body. So from there, once you start tracking this stuff, your practitioner or health coach can help you interpret your patterns and build a plan that supports your goals in a sustainable way, again, long term. But none of that happens without awareness, and it starts with the food journal. So again, if you're ready to start a health journey today, don't buy fancy detox kits initially. Start with a pen, paper, a few honest notes about how your food's making you feel, and you'll be amazed what you learn. Again, you could use different apps out there. Chronometer is one we recommend, and another one is MyFitnessPal. So the next thing, let's talk about holistic habits. So again, if you started your food tracking, that's great. That awareness gives you a huge advantage. But the next layer is creating small, consistent changes that add up. This is where holistic habits come in. So we talk about holistic, we're referring to health practices that support the whole person, body, mind, and spirit. Remember, there's a lot of you that goes into you, what you're about, It is, it's not just your diet, right? Body, mind, and spirit are included. So it includes sleep, stress, hydration, digestion, movements, and even your mindset. So these habits may seem basic, but in practice, they're the foundation of healing and long-term wellness. Again, you got to get your mind right, right? We hear that a lot in different aspects of life. So let's be honest, most people don't need another extreme diet or a 90-day fitness plan, right? There's too many out there that fail. People get overwhelmed. People need sustainable tools to feel better in everyday life. Again, because your energy is tanking, your digestion is sluggish, and your stress is maxed out, no supplement or workout plan is going to stick, right? Your body simply won't cooperate when it's in survival mode. And at that point, everybody gives up. It's not working. I'm overwhelmed. I give up. So that's why I encourage my clients to focus on what I call the big 5 foundational habits. Initially, you hear this often, is hydration. Start with the basics. Most adults walk around partially dehydrated and don't even realize it. Even mild dehydration can affect cognitive function, energy levels, digestion, and hunger cues. So aim to drink half your body weight in ounces per day. So a 160-pound person should shoot for around 80 ounces of water. You want to add more if you're active, if you drink caffeine, because that'll dehydrate you, or also if you live in a dry climate. So want to be more effective? Start the morning with a glass of warm lemon water and a pinch of sea salt. This supports digestion, mineral balance, and hydration before you even eat breakfast. Again, very simple. A glass of warm lemon water and add a pinch of sea salt. And the big one everybody's into right now is the Baja Gold. So, pick yourself up a bag. The second one would be sleep. Again, this is your hormonal reset button. So if you're trying to lose weight, balance hormones, or increase energy, but you're sleeping less than 6 or 7 hours a night, you're swimming upstream. So lack of sleep raises cortisol and increases your cravings, lowers insulin sensitivity, and slows your metabolism. It also disrupts your detoxification and immune repair. So prioritize 7 to 9 hours of quality uninterrupted sleep each night. Set a wind down routine, limit screens after 9 p.m., and consider herbal supplements like magnesium, chamomile, or L-theanine as needed. Sleep is not just rest, right? It's active healing. And without it, nothing else you're doing will matter nearly as much. Another one, sitting around all day. You want movement, gentle, consistent, and functional. So again, you don't need to jump in a 5-day-a-week, high-intensity training program or a marathon. Especially if you're just beginning, movement should nourish your body, not punish it. So walking is incredibly underrated. Just 20 to 30 minutes a day can improve circulation, stabilize blood sugar, reduce cholesterol, improve your lymphatic flow. If walking isn't an option, try gentle stretching, rebounding, such as like jumping on a mini trampoline, or restorative yoga, all good options here. Usually walking's one of the best though. It's something you can maintain long term. So try to focus at least on starting to get up more, move around. So the goal isn't here right now about fat burning. It's about, system activation. You're training your body to regulate better, to move blood, detoxify waste, and balance hormones. And remember, consistency beats intensity. So if you do it every day versus doing it one day and then super heavy workout, a lot of running, and then you just give up, you're going to end up failing. So a 20-minute walk every day is more powerful than an intense 90-minute workout followed by 6 days of exhaustion. So again, start slow. Start 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day, 20 minutes a day. Get up there and just move around. Another one that we don't often talk about is your nervous system support. So stress is not just mental. We normalize chronic stress to the point where it's almost invisible. But from an integrative health perspective, chronic stress is one of the most dangerous disruptors of metabolism, hormones, and digestion. When your nervous system is constantly in fight or flight mode, your body prioritizes survival. That means fat loss, hormone production, your digestion's getting put on hold. So how do you reset the nervous system? So you don't have to meditate for hours. You want to start with these kind of things. Deep breathing, inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 6. Again, deep breathing, inhale for 4, hold it for 4, and exhale for 6. Grounding, walk barefoot outside for about 10 minutes. Journaling, track emotions or gratitude. Morning sunlight exposure, this resets your circadian rhythm, and it also boosts your mood. And you want to take breaks from your screen, right? On your computer, from your phone, and so forth. So every 90 minutes during the workday, try if you could do every 30 minutes, but at least at a minimum, do every 90 minutes. Take a break for a few minutes. So these small shifts regulate your parasympathetic system. This is the one responsible for rest, digestion, and repair. Another one we kind of touched on is protein power meals. So this is a metabolic game changer. So one of the fastest ways to improve energy, balance blood sugar, reduce cravings, and kick metabolism is prioritize high-quality protein with every meal. Most people are under-eating protein or over-relying on carbs and fat. While there's nothing wrong with healthy carbs and fat, protein plays a different role. It's a raw material for enzymes, neurotransmitters, detoxification, muscle repair, and also your immune system, your immune function. So from an integrative standpoint, an adequate protein can contribute to fatigue, hormone imbalances, slow healing, and even mood issues. So here's a simple rule. Start your day with 20, 30 grams of protein. Do this within, 30 minutes of waking. This sets the tone for stable blood sugar, better focus, and reduced cravings. Some easy options: eggs and turkey sausage, protein smoothie with hemp, chia, or pea protein, Greek yogurt with seeds and berries. Again, leftovers for dinner. Who says you can't eat chicken for breakfast, right? There's a lot of people who eat steak and eggs for breakfast, or just a steak, so alternate your meals. Maybe you have to do this. You're either going to get that protein shake or you're going to have that piece of chicken in the morning. You got to do something to get your protein up. So don't forget, not all protein powders are created equal. Look for brands without artificial sweeteners, gums, or fillers, and they offer third-party testing. And you could visit mindfulobjective.com and you could sign up for supplements of healthy vetted supplements in our dispensary at 20% off retail. So again, visit mindfulobjective.com, look more into that. So start stacking, not stressing. The beauty of holistic habits, they're stackable. You don't need to master them all at once. We also always say take it slow. Maybe this week you focus on getting 8 hours of sleep. Next week you add morning hydration. The week after that, you go for a walk after lunch. Again, just get started. So these are habits that move the needle. They're low effort, high impact, and they support every major system in the body without requiring perfection. It's different. But next thing we're going to talk about is chiropractic care. So too often people think like visiting a chiropractor, because on the side of, eating right and doing all that stuff too, the other thing is visiting a chiropractor, right? A lot of people don't know the in-depth about what a chiropractor does, what they're there for. But there's a lot of benefits when it comes to chiropractors, right? So again, too often people think chiropractors there for back pain or neck stiffness. Those are common reasons people seek out chiropractic treatment, but that barely scratches the surface of what chiropractors really do. So let's break it down. So your spine, again, I'm no chiropractor, but I do work with chiropractors, and I highly recommend them. And there's many in the area here that I recommend, and we'll talk about them in another episode. But, for those that have been to a chiropractor, they understand the beneficial aspects of it. For those that have not, I'll kind of talk a little bit about what a chiropractor does here to maybe, open your eyes. So think of your spine as the main highway carrying all the information between your brain and the rest of the body. Every nerve that controls digestion, breathing muscles, movement, hormone release, detoxifications, immune functions, all of it runs through your spinal network. So if that highway's blocked, congested, out of alignment, your body can't function to its best ability. It's like trying to drive from one city to another and there's a pileup on every exit. So now when you're talking about major injuries here, this is what we're not talking about. We're talking about subtle shifts that happen from sitting at a desk, staring at a screen, carrying stress, old car accidents, sports injuries, or even poor sleep positions. So these small alignments, what chiropractors call subluxations, can create pressure or irritation on the nerves exiting the spine. So that pressure can disrupt communication between your brain and body. And when that communication breaks down, some symptoms start showing up. For example, headaches and brain fog, hormone imbalances, digestive issues, immune suppression, sleep disturbances, chronic fatigue, anxiety and mood swings. Sound familiar? So again, chiropractors support the whole system. So again, what does a chiropractor actually do? A lot of people do not know. They assess the alignment of your spine and movement of your joints. If they find areas of restriction, they perform gentle adjustments to restore proper motion, reduce nerve interference, and improve overall function. So it's not just about bone cracking. A well-trained chiropractor looks at posture, mobility, stress, lifestyle, and sometimes even nutrition or emotional health. They're often one of the most hands-on professionals you'll work with on your journey. Again, that's why we work so closely with chiropractors. So one of the biggest things I hear from clients after a few visits is I didn't know how off my body felt until I felt better, right? And we see this with when you deal with a health coach. Once you understand these different things, then you kind of you find, man, I didn't know I felt that bad until I started feeling good. So here's why it matters. If your nervous system is out of alignment, every other intervention you try, food supplements, workouts, even sleep routines, may work harder than necessary. So chiropractor helps your body receive the benefits of your efforts. It helps your brain and body communicate efficiently again. And that's what happens when that does happen. That's when healing begins. So an underrated benefit of a chiropractor care is how it supports detoxifications. Again, chiropractors are holistic, also, holistic/integrative. So, that's why we do work with them. That's why we partner up. We offer different kind of services, but we complement each other, 1,000,000%. So when it comes to this, your lymphatic system, this is the system responsible for clearing waste and cellular debris. Depends heavily on movement and circulation. So when your spine and joints aren't moving well, lymph when it is moving well, your lymph can drain more efficiently. So that means that your body can clear toxins faster. It'll also mean it'll reduce inflammation and also free up resources for healing. So many of my clients notice that after adjustment, they sleep better, feel lighter, have more regular bowel movements. It's not coincidence. It's usually signs that the nervous system and detox systems are waking up and doing their job more efficiently. So again, it's integrative, not isolated. So let me be clear. Chiropractic care isn't a magic bullet, right? It's often an incredible, effective piece of holistic puzzle. When paired with, especially on the integrative side, what we do, it's paired with proper nutrition, hydration, sleep, and movement. It can dramatically, accelerate your progress, right? Many of the clients I work with who also see a chiropractor report better results across the board. They feel less inflamed, sleep better, and notice improvements in digestion, mental clarity within weeks. So you don't have to wait till you're in pain to see a chiropractor. In fact, the best time to go is before symptoms show up, when you're laying the foundation of your health journey. So what you want to look for in a chiropractor is look for someone who does a full assessment on your first visit, not just a quick adjustment. Ask if they offer posture analysis, range of motion tests, or nervous system scans. A chiropractor who works with nutritionists, integrative health practitioners, health coaches, acupuncturists, or just integrative and holistic people on the side, right? All the coaches and stuff out there. That's all also a great sign. And oftentimes, a lot of these chiropractors do some focus on nutrition, others do acupuncture. So there's a lot of services they do offer, and you'd be surprised to know what they do offer until you go there and try it out. So don't be afraid to ask about their experience with digestive issues, fatigue, or hormone imbalances. The best chiropractors don't just treat pain, they treat people. So again, if a chiropractor is the missing link in your health plan, or if you're doing the right things but still feel off, it's still worth exploring. So you want to support your spine and nervous system. This may be the hidden key to unlocking your body's full potential. So, as you work with us, on the integrative health side, we'll provide kind of recommendations on, your next steps and who you should see, what other things you can try depending on your symptoms. So let me know when you're ready. If you meet with one of our integrative health practitioners, when we have you fill out that intake form, we kind of ask these kind of questions to understand who you work with, what care you experienced, where you're current at with your journey. And then we kind of help you kind of bridge those gaps. But at some point, we may say also, based on your nutrition and stuff, you're sitting a lot, or, you work in a factory, maybe you need a massage. Maybe you need acupuncture. Maybe you need to see a chiropractor to get adjusted and go from there, and we'll work hand in hand with your chiropractor. We have no issues with that. So far we talked about food tracking, holistic habits, even chiropractor can help align the nervous system for better health. But what ties it all together, what keeps it sustainable, is support, right? And that's where we're working with a health coach or integrative health practitioner can truly change the game. So let's be honest, there's no shortage of health information out there. You can Google any symptom and find about 25 different solutions. I think we all have done that. I don't care who you are or what expertise you have. Everybody Googles everything, and everybody gets all these different diagnoses, and there's so many solutions out there that are not solutions. They cause more problems. So you want to make sure you work hand in hand with the health practitioner, coach, health coach here, such as Mindful Objective, to get you on the right way. So there are podcasts, blogs, TikToks, YouTube videos, and influencers shouting advice in every corner. But what happens when you're overwhelmed trying your best and still not getting results? We easily get overwhelmed. There's just too much information out there. We don't know, you hear one day eat eggs, next day don't eat eggs. Next day eat red meat, next day don't eat red meat. Next day go plant-based, then you hear don't go plant-based because that's causing issues too. So, that's where guidance comes in. Not more information, but the right application. Why you shouldn't do this alone? One of the biggest reasons people fail in their health journey isn't the lack of discipline, it's lack of clarity. They don't know what to prioritize, what actually is working, whether they're moving in the right direction. That confusion can lead to burnout, frustration, even giving up. We see that all the time, right? What happens when it comes to January 1st? everybody so gung-ho on, hey, let's go ahead and, I want to lose 30 pounds. I want to do this. I want to do that. And then 2 weeks into it, they're overwhelmed. They just give up. So here's what a coach, a practitioner can do to self-help guides or online programs really offer is help you identify the root cause of your symptoms. Again, that's what we focus on. It's your root cause, right? Customize recommendations to your body, your lifestyle, your goals. You're an individual, right? Your body's different than your neighbor's body, your friend's body, your sister's body, your brother's body. So we hold you accountable without judgment. Again, we want to see that food tracking journal and, no judgment based, but we look at that journal and say, you know what? Let's adjust this. Let's do this. You're having too much carbs here. Let's increase protein here. That's what we do. Nice and easy. No judgment. We want to break down complex concepts into clear next steps. We also provide lab testing to uncover what's really happening inside the body. We're also here to offer emotional support and mindset coaching. How can we get you on the right path? How can we get you out of that negative mindset and focus on, this positive health journey? This is, we're here to help you rebalance that body, get you to a healing state to live a long, healthy life. So again, it's a partnership, right? It's a compass. It's not a crutch. You're still in charge, but now you have someone in your corner who understands the terrain. So again, what's the difference between a health coach and an integrative health practitioner? I hear that question. It's a good question. There's some overlap, and here's distinction. Health coach, integrative health practitioner is a health coach, right? But we go a little deeper. So a health coach may often focus on just behavioral change, motivation, and accountability. Sometimes they help clients make sustainable change in their lifestyle, diet, sleep, stress, exercise. Many coaches are trained to ask powerful questions, set goals, and celebrate progress in a supportive, structured way. So an IHP, integrative health practitioner, on the other hand, typically goes deeper into why. We look at functional lab testing, nutritional imbalances, toxicity, gut health, hormones, and more. We don't just guess, we test. Then we use natural protocols to help the body get back into alignment, right? We want that balance. So we often combine food and nutrition, lifestyle and habit changes, foundational supplements, detoxification support, right? We say that 7 and 21 detox, but we want to detox your liver, kidneys, and so forth. Emotional and energetic tools like breath work and meditation. As an integrative health practitioner, I work with clients who often tried everything else, diets, medications, generic programs, and still feel stuck, right? You get frustrated, you just give up. But working with us, we work to uncover the root issues using functional labs and personalized assessments. Then what do? We create a plan that truly fits you specifically. Not your friend, not your sister, not your cousin, not your wife, not your husband, but you as an individual. So that's the magic, right? Personalization and precision. What the first session typically looks like, if you never worked with a coach or practitioner before, the process is empowering, not intimidating. Your first session will often involve a deep dive into your intake form, a discussion on your current symptoms, history, lifestyle, and goals. We also like to review any past labs, medications, or any diagnoses that you received before from a medical doctor. We want to identify your big rocks, right? What you want to prioritize first. Where's your major issues? What do we need to tackle first? Is that weight loss? Is it your thyroid? Is it migraines, right? What do we got to tackle first? Then we want to create a simple plan, what's doable with like 1 to 3 action steps. So nothing overwhelming, start here. Maybe you need to walk 20 minutes. Maybe you need to eat protein in the morning. Maybe you need to increase your hydration. Let's see where that takes you. Then we adjust as we go. So again, the goal isn't overhaul your life in a week. It takes time. It's to build momentum in the right direction. Sometimes that means improving digestion. Sometimes it means sleep. Sometimes it means learning how to eat without guilt or understanding which supplements will give your body the boost it needs. So whatever the case, the plan should feel like a breath of fresh air, not another chore. Right. We don't want to overwhelm you. We want to work with you. Right. This is a long-term commitment, right? 3, 6, 12 months. We want to work with you to get you on the right track. We want to get you to a point where you're the healthiest you've ever been. You want to feel the best you've ever been. Some people do not know they feel bad again until they feel good. So one of the biggest advantages today is that you can work with an integrative health professional from anywhere, right? My practice, for example, is 100% virtual. So whether you live in a small town, have a busy work schedule, or prefer privacy, you can get expert support without leaving your home. Sessions are usually done via video call. Some people may not feel comfortable with a video call. We'll just do a phone call. Labs can be shipped to your door, or you may have to do some labs at, say, like LabCorp. You may go to your local LabCorp. But often a lot of the functional labs are at-home lab testing, right? They may contain blood tests or urine tests, but all done in the privacy of your own home. Supplements can be drop shipped straight from trusted suppliers. It's simple, streamlined, tailored to you. So the reason with a virtual practice is a local practice limits our scope, who we're going to work with. This way, we have the option to reach people globally, right? Majority of our clients are in the United States, but we do have that option to, work with clients all over the world. And we have, right? Australia, Canada, and so forth. We have. But what we want to do is let people know, hey, it's just a phone call away. We usually have quicker scheduling. We have more options, more flexibility because we're virtual, less overhead. That's how we keep the prices down. So again, don't be afraid because you're not seeing a building or walking to a building. Oftentimes when you do walk into the building, you're paying for that. So just keep that in mind. Is it, do you pay, $1,500, $2,500 for a set consultation and couple of tests versus starting off at a lower rate, right? And seeing where we need to take it. And again, we keep the prices down on our labs, our consultations, our group sessions, and so forth. So you don't need to be sick or in crisis to work with a practitioner. So in fact, the best time to start is before things get worse. And we talk, when's your health important to you? You should focus on preventative care. This is the cornerstone of functional integrative health, and having a partner in the process can make all the difference. So what to look for when choosing support? So if you're thinking about working with someone, here are a few things to look for. Do they listen to you without judgment? Do they ask you about all aspects of your life, not just your diet and exercise? Are they willing to customize a plan? Or are they handing out cookie cutter solutions? That's what you do not want, right? Each body's individualized. You want it specific to you, who you are, to your symptoms, to your deficiencies, to you as that individual. Can they explain the why behind their recommendations? Do they offer lab testing or evidence-based tools? Do they empower you to take ownership of your health? So remember, you're hiring someone to work with you, not above you. You deserve to feel heard, supported, and respected. Again, that's where we come into play is, that's what we're here for. I mean, brothers and sisters, what can we do to help each other out? All right. So our approach at Mindful Objective, we offer this kind of personalized support every day, whether it's foundational coaching or full integrative health plan based on labs and supplements. We meet you where you are. You don't have to try harder. You don't need to be start smarter. And we're here to walk the path with you. So again, we want to work hand in hand with you. Don't feel stressed out. No question's a dumb question. We're all learning as we go. And I don't care who the practitioner is, all of us still learn day to day. We're always doing more research. We're always learning from different cases we come across. Each person's different. Person to person, system to system. Everybody eats different. Everybody has different DNA. Everybody has different genetics. Everything's different. So again, reach out to mindfulobjective.com if you want to learn more. So next thing we want to talk about is foundational supplements to support your journey. So let's say you started tracking your food. Again, implement a few holistic habits, booked your first chiropractic session. You're working with an integrated practitioner. You're building momentum. So what's next? The next thing is foundational supplements. So let's be clear. Supplements are not substitutes for real food, good sleep, clean water, or stable routine. They're exactly what the name says, supplements, right? They're supplemental. They fill in the gaps. They accelerate healing, and they support systems that are under strain. But they must be high quality, intentional, and tailored, right? There's so many supplements people buy that contain so many fillers, or supplements that do not contain what they say it's in them, right? You may buy I talked about this before. You may buy a garlic pill and find out it's just aluminum in that pill because it's not third-party tested, low quality, filled with fillers. You just don't know what's in these things. So too many people grab a random multivitamin off the shelf at a, typical grocery store. They take it inconsistently and wonder why they don't feel different. Or worse, they take it 5 or 6 trendy supplements without knowing how they interact or whether they're even needed. That's where we focus on a select group of well-vetted foundational supplements that support nearly everyone, especially when you're starting out. These are safe, widely beneficial, and critical for building a solid baseline of health. So again, at Mindful Objective, we offer a 20% off retail on healthy vetted supplements and healthcare products. You do not have to be a client, and you are free to just sign up and take advantage of our practitioner discount. So now let's talk more about these foundational supplements. Number 1, high-quality multivitamin. So think of a multivitamin as your nutritional safety net. Even with clean, whole food diet, it's difficult to meet 100% of your nutrient needs every day, especially at modern soil depletion, stress, medications, food sensitivities, and digestive issues. So good multivitamin provides B-complex vitamins for energy and support and detox, antioxidants like A, C as in Charlie, E as in Edward to reduce inflammation, trace minerals like selenium, chromium, and molybdenum, magnesium and zinc for hormones, mood, and immunity. But again, the key here is quality. So many store-bought multivitamins contain synthetic forms that are poorly absorbed or even irritating. So think folic acid versus methylated versus cyancobalamin versus methylcobalamin. They are often contain dyes, fillers, and necessary additives. So at Mindful Objective, we use only practitioner-grade brands that are third-party tested, bioavailable, and clinically formulated, so you'll feel the difference. Another one would be vitamin D3 and K2. So vitamin D is more than just a sunshine vitamin. It plays a key role in immune regulation, bone health, mood support, hormone production, inflammation control. But here's the kicker. Most people are deficient, especially if they live in northern climates, work indoors, or wear sunscreen regularly. This blocks usually vitamin D synthesis. Another thing to do is the combo of D3 and K2 are important. So D3 helps raise serum vitamin D levels. K2 ensures calcium is directed to the bones, not soft tissues like arteries. So the synergy supports heart health and bone density to help avoid the calcification risk of taking D3 alone. So what's the typical dose? Between 2 to 5,000 IUs of D3, depending on blood levels, with MK7 form of K2. So always test your levels when possible and work with a practitioner for safe dosing. Another one would be zinc. This is an unsung hero. It supports immune defense, wound healing, DNA repair, skin health, and also hormone imbalances, especially if testosterone and your thyroid function. So it's also common depleted by stress, alcohol, vegan, vegetarian diets, and certain medications like acid blockers and diuretics. So what's the challenge? Too much zinc can create copper imbalance, and not all forms are absorbed equally. We usually recommend zinc picolinate or bisglycinate. They often pair it with a copper imbalance ratio when needed. So most starter plans include 15 to 30 milligrams of zinc per day, short term as a restorative protocol. So another one that, we suggest as foundational would be omega-3 fatty acid, especially EPA and DHA. They're critical for anti-inflammatory balance, brain function and focus, heart health, joint mobility, mood stability. Unfortunately, most diets are too high in omega-6. Sorry, I had to take a drink of water there. Talking too much today. So again, unfortunately, most diets are too high in omega-6. This is usually from processed oils, and too low in omega-3s. So even if you eat fish, it's difficult to maintain optimal levels, especially given mercury concerns and poor sourcing. That's why a clean third-party tested fish oil or algae-based omega-3 can be a smart move. You want to aim for around 1,000 to 2,000 milligrams of combined EPA and DHA per day, usually for general support. So the main thing you want to look for is the IFOS or the GOED certified products to ensure purity. So again, mindfulobjective.com, you could sign up for a supplement, visit the store, and be able to see vetted products out there. There's over 365 brands of healthcare products and supplements. Another one would be vitamin C. So vitamin C does far more than help with colds. It's essential for collagen production, immune regulation, antioxidant defense, adrenal function. So this is your stress response. Also your detox and liver support. So while fruits and veggies provide some therapeutic amounts of healing and immune support, they often require supplementation, especially during stress, illness, or recovery. We recommend buffer C or liposomal C for better absorption and gentleness on the stomach. A good starting dose is usually between 500 and 1,000 meg per day, sometimes more in short bursts. High quality protein would be another one we're going to talk about. So again, let's talk about protein because it's just not about building muscle. It's about giving your body raw materials to function. So protein's needed for enzymes and hormones, neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine. Right? Are you stressed, anxious? Do you need more protein? Skin, nails, hair, and bones, blood sugar balance, immune strength, and tissue repair. So if you're under eating protein, you're slowing every system in your body. From an integrative health perspective, protein is especially important in women, older adults, and anyone recovering from chronic health challenges. Sources we love include wild-caught fish, pasture-raised eggs and poultry, grass-fed meats, lentils, hemp seeds, chickpeas, plant-based protein powders with minimal ingredients. So again, as mentioned in the earlier segment, most people should aim for 0.7 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. Track it and you'll likely be surprised, right? It's everybody thinks, oh yeah, I eat enough protein, I do this. And then they look. Sometimes it's hard to eat a lot of protein, but then you look, you're tracking stuff and you think you ate 120 grams of protein and you ate, 55. So until you track, sometimes it's hard to know. At least track for a couple days and see. So the last final one on the supplements would be methylated B complex. This is one of the most probably one of the most overlooked but essential supplements, especially for people under stress, struggling with fatigue, brain fog, and mood swings. A methylated B complex includes activated forms of B vitamins, methylfolate B9, methylcobalamin B12, pyridoxal 5-phosphate, which is B6, riboflavin 5-phosphate, which is B2. Again, that's B9, B12, B6, B2. So these forms are easier on the body to absorb and use, especially for people with the MTHFR gene. Everybody knows this as the mother gene, the mother you-know-what gene. So MTHFR, gene variation who can't convert folic acid or synthetic B12 efficiently. And of course, I'm double dominant when it comes to the MTHFR gene. I do have that. And so my body cannot convert folic acid or synthetic cyanocobalamin, which is B12, the cheap form. So you have to supplement with a methylated version. So this supplement supports usually methylation and detox pathways. It'll also help with red blood cell production, hormone synthesis, energy metabolism. And another one would be your stress and adrenal support. So B complex vitamins are water soluble, meaning they excrete when you don't need them. So they're safe for most people to use daily. Just be sure you take them in the morning or early afternoon as they may increase energy. And a lot of times people take a B complex and their urine is neon yellow. So do not be shocked if it looks like you're urinating Gatorade. So keep that in mind. So another thing I want to talk about is, we talk about supplements through Mindful Objective. You get a 20% discount off retail. So people always ask, well, what does that even mean? So you hear us mention it often, but let us explain. Retail pricing is what you typically pay at health food stores, wellness websites, or big online retailers. These prices include retail markups and usually full MSRP, which is manufacturer's suggested retail price. So when we say 20% off retail, it means that we offer the same exact high-quality supplements you find in stores, but at 20% less than the standard retail price. That's because we work directly with professional grade suppliers to pass on the savings to you. So there's no hidden costs or gimmicks, just trusted products at a lower price. And it's part of our mission to help make wellness accessible and sustainable. We know that the market's tough, and what we could do to help people. Our focus here is not about making all the money in the world. I mean, we obviously have to make money to pay the bills and keep this podcast and the business going, but we're here to help heal people. Right? Our focus on rebalance the body. We want to get people on track and get people to feel good. So you can assess the products right now on mindfulobjective.com under shop and supplement section. So I know this ran over. I was hoping it'd be a 30-minute podcast, but now we're at 45 minutes. So let's kind of wrap things up. So remember, supplements aren't just about doing more. They're doing about what's needed for you. So start with the basics, build a strong foundation. Then if needed, your practitioner can guide you with more targeted protocols. And we usually do this doing lab testing, right? Functional labs, right? There's conventional labs out there, but our primary focus is functional labs. And this way we can identify your deficiencies and go from there. So again, thanks for joining us on this long episode, sorry for that, of Mindful Objective. Today, we unpacked what it really means to begin your health journey through an integrative lens. The truth is, starting doesn't mean doing everything at once. It means doing the right things first, tracking your food, supporting your body with nutrients, exploring holistic care, and having a team in your corner. We are your team. So at Mindful Objective, we believe in meeting you where you are. Whether it's foundational lab testing, high-quality supplements, or personalized guidance, we're here to help you move forward with clarity and confidence. Don't forget, you could assess our trusted supplements and healthcare products 20% off retail. Visit mindfulobjective.com. Quick reminder, this podcast is for informational educational purposes only. We do not diagnose, cure, or treat any illness or disease. So if this episode today gave you clarity, please share it with someone who's ready to begin, but might not know about this podcast or how to begin. And remember, your body wants to heal. Let's give it what it needs to start the process. Let's work together on this. Don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions. You can visit mindfulobjective.com/podcast to submit a question. You can visit mindfulobjective.com/contact us to send us questions also about, this is where I am. I want a free consultation. We do offer that. Quick 15-minute. Yes, we can help you. No, maybe you need to see a physician, maybe see a neurologist. Or if we can help you, then we'll set up a consultation and go from there. So again, that wraps it up for this episode. Stay well, and we'll see you next time.